Pilots perform low passes for a variety of reasons. Normally, you expect to see planes high in the air. Sometimes, though, you can see them making lower altitude flights and passes. You can see these at places like air shows or anywhere close to an airport where the jets are flying low on their approach. Every once in a while, though, airplanes and jets will do flyovers that are only feet above the heads of spectators and workers, resulting in an exciting yet dangerous experience. From a C130 Hercules to an F16 fighter, here are 5 planes flying way too low. There's not much history behind this video that was taken at Nixon Fork Mine near McGrath, Alaska. It was on September 11, 2011, when this man was walking along a back road. The C-130 had just dropped off supplies at a nearby mine and had been making passes for a short time, prompting the man to bring out his camera to shoot the action. It was then that the humongous jet made its pass only a few feet above his head.
Holy sh**.
One possibility is that the enormous jet was running drills. Alaska is home to Eielson Air Force Base. A great number of military aircraft fly out of this base, running drills over the sparsely populated state with little concern of disturbing people. It is possible that during some of these exercises, this cameraman simply found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, it seems quite unlikely, as being on the road, he was very visible. So, the pilots may have simply been giving him a show. C-130s are also known to be used to help combat forest fires from time to time. Although they are rare in this part of the world, they are not unheard of, especially since much of the land is covered by trees. In order to keep up their skills, pilots are required to do test flights every once in a while. They also run random patrols of the area, checking to make sure there is nothing out of the ordinary going on. Could this cameraman have been filming during one of these practice flights or random patrols? We, as civilians, very rarely get a glimpse of military technology in action. However, there is one way where regular people can get a first-hand look and experience what military aircraft are really like. In various countries, people can go to air shows and see everything from modern-day fighter jets to historic airplanes in action. They perform death-defying maneuvers and incredible displays of speed and power. The sights and sounds bring things into incredible perspective. At one such air show in 2014 in the town of Waddington, England, spectators were watching as various jets and airplanes flew overhead performing stunts. In order to get a bit more of an up-close view, a group of people gathered near the end of the runway so that they could really feel the sound of the aircraft as it took off and landed. Suddenly, as they looked on, they saw an F-16 approaching, ready to land. As it approached, it was clear that the jet would pass them in close proximity, but no one was expecting it to only pass within a couple of feet. The fighter passed within an arm's reach above the spectators, sending a few of them to the ground out of fear. It was a much more dangerous position to be in than it looked on the video. However, who would you put at fault? Was it the fault of the pilot for approaching the runway too closely? Or was it the fault of the spectators for being in the path of obvious potential danger in the first place? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. On the island of St. Martin in the Caribbean Sea lies the Princess Juliana International Airport, a place that has become incredibly famous among tourists. It's not because anyone famous works there, or that the building is of a unique design. Only a few yards away from the end of the runway is a beach. People sunbathe, swim, and build sandcastles here. Well, at least that's what they do at normal beaches. This beach is anything but normal. When airplanes take off or land from this runway, they come incredibly close to the beachgoers. In this video, taken in July of 2016, some tourists were visiting the beach when they saw an airplane taking off at the other end of the runway. Thinking quickly, they pulled out their camera to start filming. The wheels lifted off the ground just before the runway ended, clearing the heads of onlookers by a few inches. Once upon a time at this airport, there would have been a Boeing 747 that would make weekly landings and takeoffs. It was tradition for people to stand by the fence during the takeoff and try to withstand the jet blast from the massive jumbo jet. However, after numerous injuries and near-death experiences, the practice has been made illegal and the 747 no longer lands there. The United States military has an incredible arsenal of aircraft at its disposal. One of the most impressive aircraft is the Lockheed C130 Hercules, which is an American 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft. Capable of being used for anything from a troop transport to a cargo transport, it is a monstrous plane that cannot be missed. As a matter of fact, it is often referred to as the Fat Albert. In this video, Marines gathered on a runway with photographers. Lining up in sort of a ceremonial formation, they wait for the perfect moment. The photographers can be seen just on the bottom of the screen, lining up their shots. A rumble in the distance starts to become louder and louder. Suddenly, flying only around 20 feet off the runway, the enormous C-130 comes into the picture, soaring just over the heads of the Marines and making for an amazing photograph. This was an incredibly controlled flight. Planned in meticulous detail, no one was in any danger. The only thing that would have posed a danger is the noise from the airplane. They've never been known for being the most subtle of aircraft, as you can generally hear them coming from quite a distance away. Either way though, it made for an incredibly cool scene, totally reminiscent of what it means to be a member in the United States military. It seems like forever that the United States and Russia have had beef with each other. Ever since the Cold War, each side seems to do what it can to test the other, whether it be through some subtle dig in the press or a minor passive-aggressive military show of force. It has been this way for decades, and it doesn't seem like anything will change in the near future. This video is a perfect example of what we're talking about. On April 11, 2016, the USS Donald Cook, a United States Navy destroyer, was operating in the Baltic Sea, conducting deck test landing drills with an Allied military helicopter when two Russian Su-24 jets made numerous close-range and low-altitude passes. In this video, taken from the deck of the Donald Cook, you can see one of the Russian jets from a distance, flying at an incredible speed only a few feet from the surface of the water. The captain of the Donald Cook made numerous attempts to contact the pilots in both English and Russian with no success. It was an obvious show of aggression and was ultimately deemed unsafe and unprofessional.
On the deck, below the bridge wing.
The next day, the tensions only rose as a Russian Ka-27 Helix helicopter circled the destroyer at low altitude, followed a few minutes later by the two Russian fighters, who made 11 passes in total. A resolution of this incident was pursued through proper diplomatic channels, but nothing ever came of it. Yes, capturing jets as they pass dangerously close can be an exhilarating experience, but it also illustrates the danger of getting too close. Should any calculations be off during the flight, a disaster would surely follow. Thankfully, pilots are some of the most rigorously trained workers on the planet, leaving us to sit back and enjoy videos such as these. To see more crazy moments caught on camera, be sure to click the link on screen now. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.